And we continue with the Kenny and JT show here on News Talk 1480 WHBC, our spring training coverage. We aren't there in Goodyear, Arizona like we normally are, but as is the way with the pandemic and everything, we do things virtually now. And joining us in our StreamYard studios from Goodyear, Arizona, Indians infielder Nolan Jones. Nolan, thanks for making time for us. How are you today? I'm
great. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Give me an idea of how this camp has gone for you, and we'll get into some of the other particulars in that with you. But so far, knock on wood, how's it gone for you? Pretty good?
Yeah, it's been really good. Getting everyone here is nice. I spent a lot of time out here in the off season, so seeing all the faces around and just kind of getting back to some the usual stuff that we're used to is definitely nice.
All right. So what's the plan for you in talking with Tito and the front office in that for this year? Because we hear great things about you, one of the top prospects in the Indians organization. What did they tell you at the start of spring training as you begin the journey this year?
To go out and have fun. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. There's no set in stone what position I'm going to play, where I'm going to bat in the order. Like if I get a chance to get up there, like there's nothing that's obviously set in stone. And obviously, the Indians have one of the best players in all of baseball at third base, Jose Ramirez. So I just want to go out, and right now I'm working in at third base, and they said I'm going to get some time in the outfield here in the next couple of weeks. So I'm just doing what I'm told and trying to take care of business wherever it is.
We have the scroll down there with your numbers from 2019 AA. What said Daniel Johnson? We'll get to him later. Those are your numbers from a couple of years ago. What about the minor leagues? What can you tell us about what's happening because of the pandemic with the minor leagues? And if it's not starting with the team breaking camp, is it AAA Columbus? And are we good with a AAA season this year?
You know as much as I do.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm doing what I'm told while I'm here. I'm trying to focus on day by day and trying to get better every day, no matter whether it's third base, outfield, whatever. And if that lands me in Columbus, Akron, Cleveland, I'm ready to go.
What was it like for you last year during the pandemic season, being at that alternate site? What could someone learn from being there as opposed to, well, there was no minor league season, right? And you weren't with the big league team actually playing. So what was that like?
Right. It was a lot different, but honestly, there was so many benefits from it. We spent a lot of time doing one-on-one work. Obviously, know what we're not good at, know what we do well. We were able to really focus in on those things that we're not as good at. Something for me that we were really able to focus on was throwing on the run defensively from third base. We were able to make a lot of throws every single day, where during the season, we're really not able to do that because we got to be able to perform that night. So we were really able to focus in, took a ton of swings, hit a lot of machine velocity. So every day we were just trying to find fun ways to get better. And that I actually found, obviously, I want to be on the field. I want to have a uniform on competing against another team, but tried to make the best out of the situation we were given. And I think the coaches did a really great job and deserve a lot of credit, keeping things fun, keeping things loose. We were always doing competitions, just trying to find fun ways to get better.
As you can see on the bottom of the screen, I have you listed as an infielder because originally third base, that's where it's at. But if the opportunity arises for you to get to the major league level as an outfielder, I've got to believe any way you can make the big league roster and help, that's something that is, I guess, 100% you're for, right?
It's been my dream to play in the big league since as long as I can remember. They asked me to catch. I'd do everything I can to be a catcher.
All right. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I agree.
It's third base or outfield, but I get your point on that 100%. For our listeners out there, we always hear about first, second round picks in minor league baseball, and it's so different from basketball and the NFL because when you're drafted in the NFL first, second, third round, you're expected to play that year. Basketball, there's only 2 rounds, right? And if you're a first-round pick, you're expected to play and contribute right away. Well, first or second-round pick in baseball, it's depending if you're high school or college, it's a 3, 4, 5, maybe 6-year, plan for some guys. Give us an idea for Nolan Jones, what it's been like since you were selected in 2016 to where you are now and the goals that you have.
Right. I mean, I think it's all about development. And it's really hard to understand when you're an 18-year-old kid. You hear your name called in the draft. You're like, oh, I'm the best player in the world. I'm going straight to the big leagues. And then you get here and you see there's 100 other really, really good players. You got to find ways to separate yourself. So I think it's just all about development, just trying to find ways every day to get better. I think you see that. I mean, the guys that are the best in the big leagues, the Jose Ramirez, is like, they find ways to get better every single day. They're not satisfied with what they're doing. And I think that's the mindset that has helped me, is that I don't want to be bad at anything. I don't want to stand out in bad ways. I want to find things that I'm good at, and I want to continue to improve upon them. And then I want to work on the things that I'm not as good at. So it's been, and obviously baseball, like you said, 5 years, 4 or 5 years we have to develop, and it honestly goes by pretty quick. And the minor leagues, honestly, I've had a ton of fun, but it's just finding ways to get better, always working. And obviously, like I said, I had big dreams and big expectations coming out of the draft that I wanted to be in the big leagues when I was this age. But I think this is all necessary. Everything we've done up to this point is all necessary, because you don't want to get to the big leagues and then look like a fool. So I think just continuing to develop and all that time every single day is a new day and a new opportunity.
Nolan Jones is our guest here on the Kenny and JT Show, live on the Wake 'em Way hotline. Nolan, I'm asking a lot of the guys this because I'm learning the roster myself. A lot of turnover over the last 2 or 3 years with the big league team. So the question that's going to be standard in almost every one of these interviews is, give me a scouting report of Nolan Jones, and give our listeners an idea of what type of player you are at third base, or be it in the outfield, but also at the plate swinging the lumber.
Right. I think as far as defensively, like I said, I have no idea where I'm going to play, but I'm going to do everything I can to help the team win. I think that's something that I've held and has been with me my whole life, is that I love winning. I love competing, and I'm always going to try to find ways to get better. I'll never be satisfied. So I'm going to give everything I have every single day. Defensively, hopefully the arm shows up in a couple instances when needed. I got a pretty good arm, so hopefully I can use that, whether it's in the outfield or the infield. And then offensively, I mean, I'm up there looking to do damage. I want to hit balls really hard, and I want to get on base. That's something that I've done throughout my career so far, is that I'm pretty patient. But when I get my pitch, I want to hit it, and I want it to go pretty far. So I want to hit balls hard.
Power bat. I mean, are we looking at a guy that hopefully is 20, 25 home runs a year when he's at the big league level?
You're looking at a guy that's going to work the count. I'm going to get on base a lot, hopefully, and I'm going to hit the ball hard. I can't tell you it's going to go like this. It might go like this sometimes, unfortunately, but I'm going to hit the ball hard.
How has it changed from when you were playing in high school through the minor leagues to now? Because we hear, and we don't totally understand this as media people, but we hear launch angle, velocity coming off the bat and everything like that. How much has that changed for you? How have you changed from 5 years ago to where you are now with all of that comes into baseball?
Right. So I think something that I have taken my whole life is discipline at the plate. My dad and I we had a batting cage in our backyard. My dad and I would go out there, and he tried to strike me out all the time. But pitchers are you see the pitching staff we have. It's unreal.
Right.
And pitchers are always developing, and hitters are always going to be behind those pitchers. So we got to see what they're doing and make our adjustments off of them, because obviously we have to hit what they throw. So right now, the huge thing is that spin rate top of the zone. And that's what guys are focused on. So we have to kind of change our mindset a little bit, and we got to stay on top of those balls that are at the top of the zone. But as far as launch angle and stuff, people really get obsessed with launch angle, launching the balls. And don't get me wrong, I like hitting balls in the air too, but there's a certain aspect where you can really hurt yourself if you're just thinking straight up in the air. Like I said, pitchers got what they call ride on their fastballs now. Their spin rates keep getting higher. Balls don't come down anymore. There's not as many sinker ballers in the game anymore. So if you're constantly thinking up, we're going to hit a lot of balls a lot higher than we think, or swing under them. So we're trying to, in the cage, for me, I try to stay low I try to stay low. I like to drive balls, but my first couple rounds I like to stay low just to try to get away from that launch angle stuff. Trying to keep that out.
Last year we were there in Goodyear. We got to see you in camp, looking good, had a good camp. Before we let you go, how's it gone so far? And, will there be enough at-bats for you to show what you can do, hopefully, this year in spring training?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm ready to go. Last year I was coming off a thumb injury. I came off of the thumb surgery, which is feeling really good. I had some small setbacks here and there throughout spring training, which no excuse. But I definitely had some setbacks. And right now, I mean, I've been out here since January 1st, and we've been going ever since. So just kind of started seeing some live pitching, which obviously is a huge adjustment. I mean, it takes time to catch up, but I feel really good. We're doing a lot of velo machine and stuff. So I think I'm ready to go.
We appreciate the time. Best of luck in spring training this year, and we'll see where you land. But I know sooner or later we're going to see you playing at Progressive Field. Thanks so much for the time today, Nolan.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
There he is, Nolan Jones, checking in with us here today here on the Kenny and JT Show. Back with more right after this. Thanks, Nolan. Great stuff,
Absolutely.
man. Good luck. Stay healthy.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you in Cleveland.
Sounds good.